Coming up, is Google Gemini already inside a smart speaker? And is Lady A Plus any good?
You're listening to Double Tap, your daily accessible technology show. Now, here's your hosts, Stephen Scott and Shaun Priest.
Hello, everybody. Welcome along to a brand new week of shows. Shaun Priest. I'm limbered up. I'm ready to go. You feeling good?
Don't try and get round me rolling your R's. You know I love that.
Brand new week.
No, that's not good enough. Where have you been? What have you been doing the weekend?
Sitting right here. What are you talking about?
Well, so have I, funnily enough, because on the end of Friday's episode, you said, see you tomorrow. And I thought, oh, okay, so we're recording on a Saturday. That's fine. That's not a problem. Mm-hmm. You never turned up. I was here. No one else was here. And I thought, that's fine. Monday, of course, start of a new week. I turned up on my own. No one else was here. What happened to you yesterday?
Don't you read your emails? Don't you read the endless screed of messages scrolled out by our very own Mr. F?
God bless you, Mr. F. Of course, as we all know, I never read emails. Well, yeah, it takes me clearly a few days.
Two things, right? Two things here. One is, on Friday's show, I might have said, see y'all tomorrow, and realised that was a mistake because I didn't know what day it was on Friday.
That's all right. That's fine. I don't think anyone would have noticed, unless it was pointed out. But no, I think that's fine.
Like I just did. Okay. The Monday thing, well, it was Civic Day in Ontario, meaning that everyone was off. Not across Canada. Not everyone was off. If you were in Montreal or Quebec or whatever you say. No, that's not how you say it. Or Vancouver or
Saskatchewan.
Other places. Yeah.
I expect.
Is that not under Ontario? Anyway, this is going to really highlight our geographical knowledge of Canada here. This is not good.
British Columbia Day, Canada.
It was Civic Day.
Well,
people were out civicking all day.
Okay, I hope you had a very nice Civic yesterday, and welcome back.
I was civicking all day long.
Weren't we all? Get a day off. What do you think? I'm going to have a damn good Civic today.
Absolutely. Am I right in saying that you cleaned up the shed?
I did, yes. I emptied all the empty cans and bottles, and still full of cobwebs though. But yeah, so if my camera is pointing somewhere completely different, it's because I did polish my desk.
Oh, that's lovely.
Yeah, haven't got round to vacuuming yet. It's taken me a couple of weeks, but I've started it. That's the main thing.
You've made the beginnings of it. It's like,
thank you.
Do you know, I feel like your shed is a little... If you had a car... It would be the same, because I've had friends like this over
full
the
of fast food wrappers.
Yeah, I used to get into a friend's car, and it was literally like a sea of those cups and the fast food wrappers all over the floor, the footwell.
I start off with such good intentions, nice air fresheners in here and keep it all clean, and maybe even a potted plant. Hello, Bob. But no, it's all gone.
An actual potted plant, or one of those IKEA jobs?
Fake one, obviously.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
I'm not a gardener. Anyway.
We know that. Listen, well, look, first off, happy Civic Day to you all. I don't know why we're making such a big deal of it, but there we are. Yeah. It may mean something to you, in which case, good for you. That wasn't patronising at all.
No, that was terrible. Quickly move on.
Absolutely fine. I don't see any issues with that whatsoever.
Not at all.
But I do want to mention our Double Tap Extra feed, because a lot of people have got in touch saying, listen, I'd love to access this new feed you've got of, even more nonsense. I mean, if you think this is in chaos and nonsense, wait till you hear the other one.
It's chilled.
Wonderful.
It's relaxed. It's us relaxed.
It's
I would
us
say.
Horizontal.
Casual tapping.
Casual tapping. Now, so don't start with new names. We're not changing the name again. Anyway, we called it Double Tap Extra in the end because it's more of this. So it kind of makes sense. And also, Dollop felt a bit weird when you were searching for it. So,
yes, it did.
The end result is that a lot of you got in touch to say, we really appreciate you making this feed and making this new extra content and making it available through the newsletter. But some people didn't say that at all. Some people were quite the opposite view, actually. Please, less double tap is what we want. When I said, less tech on there, they're like, could we just have less double tap? That would be even better.
Double tap less.
Yeah. Well, this is definitely less in terms of standards. So, you can check it out, but you have to, at least until recently, you had to go through the newsletter subscription, which we do still encourage you to do, because our newsletter comes out every month, and it gives you a bit of a digest. So if you don't get a chance to hear the show every single day, you can get the digest of key topics, key conversations that we've had over the month, in one email, one easy to listen to, read, whatever email. In fact, there's a demo coming up later on how you can even enjoy it via your smart speaker, which is quite interesting.
What?
Yeah,
I didn't even know that was possible.
Well, you're going to hear a demo later all about that, which is very interesting to me. But if you were getting access or were having issues getting access to the Double Tap Extra feed, we've made a decision here at Double Tap Towers, and that is we're going to open it up to you all. You can all double tap for everyone. That's what I say. More double tap.
You get double tap.
Trying to get the applause to work,
tap.
and it's not working. Oh, there it is.
There we go.
What's going on here? Someone's been mucking around in here. Have you been in my office?
I haven't cleaned it, sir. No, I haven't.
Right,
Well,
go now.
we're assuming applause here, but yes, we have had a few emails with people struggling to add the URL for the extra feed. So we thought
It's not the easiest thing to do, right?
No,
Especially
it's
if you're
not.
on like a Blind Shell Classic 2 or you're using, say, a Sense Player or a Victor Reader. It is possible to do, but it's not the easiest thing to do.
And why make it difficult?
If you've got a smart speaker, exactly. So I thought, you know what, let's just break down barriers here, Shaun. That's what it's all about. I mean, I've been on LinkedIn quite a bit recently because, I felt a bit like bragging. So I thought, I know where to go. And I think we should break down some barriers.
Okay, through LinkedIn.
I think we should break down the barriers we built.
So let's. That's true. Yes. Let's
that big
rebuild
wall
those
we built?
bridges.
We're going to break it down. What heroes we are.
Well, we did hear from a few people, and as you mentioned, we're thinking about listeners like Eleanor with her smart speaker.
Yeah, Eleanor's never mentioned it, so maybe Eleanor couldn't care less.
No, I know, but still.
I feel you should have access, right? That's the point.
Yeah,
and there's
and
no
now
point
you do.
putting up barriers. So, yeah, we're going to make it available. So just go into your app of choice, ask your smart speaker to play the Double Tap Extra podcast, and see how you go on.
So it's its own feed now. It's not mixed in with this. It's actually its own separate feed.
No, we felt there was enough flowing through this particular feed.
Absolutely. Well, it's up to you then if you want to dip in or not, right? Absolutely.
Well, every week we stick another one up the internet and we make it available via the new feed through the Double Tap Extra. In fact, this week coming, you might find there's a couple extra appearing on there because we're a little bit behind on some of the episodes because someone was off.
Sorry, my fault.
Don't know who that was. So, as a result, basically no one would edit them. So, Shaun's back, everything's fine. We're going to get a couple of
I wasn't
extra
missed then for my
episodes.
sparkling wit.
I missed you.
Yeah.
Not for
the
your
edit.
wit, no, for your editing prowess.
Okay, check it out. Double Tap Extra.
So there you go. It's available to you. It's our gift to you. If that is a gift to you, then well, maybe we need to talk about gifts.
Sorry, we don't have the receipt. You can't take it back.
No, you can't take it back.
Can we also say while we're on that as well? But please do, if you want to get the newsletter, please do subscribe as well.
It is great. It is actually, and I will say this: I don't put it together. People who are far smarter than me do it.
Yeah.
But it's very good. What I do is my job is to contribute to it because it's like, I suppose I should tell people what we did on the show. But it is really good because you get a chance to catch up with the conversations. A lot of people just want to maybe archive a conversation or go back to a specific thing. And it's also important to say that the links we give you in the newsletter take you to our website. And in there, maybe you don't realize this, but there are links, relevant links to anything we're talking about are added to each article. So if you wanted to find out about a specific product talked about in that conversation, that's where you'll find the links to it. So, yeah.
Absolutely. So please do subscribe to the
Basically,
newsletter.
it's like a website that's been thought about and actually used properly. I know it's unusual.
That's why we got people to help us with it.
I feel we have to apologize all the time.
doubletaponair.com/subscribe. Check it out.
Shall we dive in?
Oh!
Email. We get email. We get your email every day.
Apart from Monday.
Here's your mail today.
Noosh!
Well, listen, there has been a lot of emails coming in about Lady A+, and we're going to get to some of those shortly.
I want it.
Yeah, I know.
I want
kind
it.
of do too. Yeah, I kind of want to.
What
I wanna
Amazon
check it
doing?
out.
I mean, what are they doing? How long does it take? It's been years now.
Well, I'm
Sorry.
guessing there's going to be an Amazon event soon. And there's got to be, surely.
Yeah, I know.
It feels like it's coming, and I'd love them to say we're going to roll this out to more countries. But I don't know. We'll need to wait and see. Again, does it come back to regulations about the countries, Europe, all these issues? I don't know.
it could be.
Maybe we should just move to America.
Quickly move on.
Of all the time. This would be the perfect time to move.
Canada's very nice.
Canada's lovely. And if actually, I was thinking, right? See if you stayed close to the border.
Yes.
Like there was a place I went to when I was over in Canada called Niagara-on-the-Lake.
Oh, where's that?
Oh, I am telling you, the most loveliest place I've ever been to, I think, on the planet, next to Norway. Norway's my favorite place in the world. I think that would be my home. I love Scotland, I do, but I think Norway.
It's not cold enough.
It's not cold enough. I want colder, and I like fresh air and nobody else around me. Norway is brilliant, and you get fast internet.
On the lake.
But yes, Niagara-on-the-Lake.
That just sounds
gorgeous
beautiful.
Place. It is beautiful, honestly. It was like being inside a 1950s movie. That's the best way to describe it.
Like Back to the Future?
Yeah, it was like the only thing that was missing were cars driving down the street with white
wall
rim
tires.
Yeah, that's the only thing that was missing. Those cars with the big headlights. I don't know, Chevys. I don't know what they were. Yeah, that's exactly right. Like I was going to say Christine, because that's the only time I can think of a car like that, which was a horror film about a car that killed people. Not nice, but the car was gorgeous.
Hang on. So if we're close to America,
like literally across. I mean, there was a point where they were talking on the bus on the tour. They were saying, you're literally across the river from America. So there was a bridge that you could, if you turned right onto this bridge, you would be in America. You would have to cross through customs.
Lady A+ is only available in the US at the moment.
That's right. So I'm thinking, if I stayed there,
if you're close enough, you could just sort of lean over and
I could
get
Wi-Fi.
To it.
Yeah, I could get someone's Wi-Fi from America. I could get hot dog Wi-Fi.
You could also VPN it from here, right?
What?
You could VPN it.
Yeah, but that's probably against.
Oh, is that against
rules?
Yeah, okay. In that case, let's move. Okay.
So let's move to a whole new country.
Let's find out if it's any good first.
Yeah, that'd be a bit annoying, wouldn't it?
Yeah. It's terrible.
Yeah, maybe let's hear the demos first, and then we'll decide. Okay, all right. I must admit, I did really love Niagara-on-the-Lake. What a beautiful place.
Sounds
Anyway, we'll definitely talk about that in a minute, because David Ward sent a great demo in which we're going to play you. But before that, I want to play you this demo, which talks about the other side of the smart speaker spectrum, shall we say. Yes, divide. The Google Home, or whatever it's called this week.
Google Nest Home,
Google Nest Home Mini. I don't know what it's called. The little tiny smart speaker, the first one that came out from Google, which they renamed several times with different colours. It's a really good speaker. I don't use mine.
I hate to say it, I don't either. I've actually got two. I've got one in the living room and one upstairs, because Sarah loves the Google Voice Assistant. She thinks it's so much better. Yeah. And to be fair, it is very good. It just, I don't know, it just never really caught on. It's just, I'm all in on the echoes in my house.
Look, I think a lot of it in where we live, and I think it's maybe the opposite in Canada to some degree, is what came first.
Yeah, no, absolutely. In Canada, the Google Nest was there.
Google Home came later, and I think a lot of people thought, well, hang on, I've bought into this. I'm not going to go and buy a different one. But my initial impression was, well, wouldn't the Google one be better? Especially for search, right? Because that's what Google are best known for.
That's their bread and butter, of course. Yeah. And to be fair, it is. It is better.
But it goes one step further than that, and that is around Google Gemini. Now, look, I've been using Gemini on my phone now pretty much exclusively. I don't use ChatGPT as much. I do for work stuff on the computer. I use GPT all the time, but I tend to use Google Gemini on the phone. And since you told me how to set it up using the action button, I could actually just go straight to it via a shortcut. So I just hold down the action button. Is it the action button? Yeah, the action button. I just hold that down.
Yes, it is.
I was thinking the one at the top, what used to be the mute button.
Yes.
Yes. And of course, it can be a mute button if you want, but I use it for the action button for invoking Gemini, and in particular, Gemini audio chat. So I can talk to it. And it's brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. I love using it. Yeah. So, yeah. But anyway, I'd love to get Gemini on my smart speaker. The question is, can you? Well, John Dyer has been in touch. He thinks you can.
Hi, guys. John here. I just wanted to do a quick demonstration using my Nest Audio, because I've heard you guys mention recently that you're looking forward to when Gemini comes to Google Assistant speakers. And I think it already has. So it was never a big announcement. I didn't see the word Gemini anywhere. But a couple of months ago, it started making this chime that I guess means the magic of AI is at work when I would ask advanced questions. And I think, unlike how Lady A works, this is not something you have to go into and out of. it just simply does the Google Assistant thing or controls your smart home or whatever it normally does. But if it's a complicated request, then it sort of hands it off to Gemini. Now, I should mention that I'm enrolled in some sort of public beta or preview or something that I did within the Google Home app, so that might be why I have this at this point. And they did recently introduce some new voices, and when I got those new voices is also when this started happening for me, so I'm going to demonstrate it. Now, I will be saying okay, followed by Google at various points in this recording. I might actually clean it up afterward, though, so you don't have to worry about it triggering any devices. I'll first demonstrate just something simple that does not require AI, so you can see what it sounds like without the magical chime. What time is it?
10:16 a.m.
Now I'm going to ask something a little more advanced and probably some follow-up questions as well. How much trade-in credit would I get for a Galaxy Watch 7 towards a Galaxy Watch 8? Can you check the Samsung US website for me?
On Samsung's US website, you can get up to $200 in trade-in credit for a Galaxy Watch 7 towards the purchase of a Galaxy Watch 8. The exact amount depends on the condition of your Galaxy Watch 7.
Is it even worth the upgrade? What is the difference between the two?
The Galaxy Watch 8 offers a brighter display, a slightly larger battery, and new health features like an antioxidant index and vascular load measurement. It also debuts with the new Wear OS 6 and One UI 8, including Gemini AI integration, which will come to the Watch 7 in a future update, though some AI features will remain exclusive to the Watch 8. The Galaxy Watch 7 still offers comprehensive health tracking, including sleep apnea detection and body...
Now I'm going to ask something a little more not straightforward, just to show that it's great at understanding what you mean, even if you don't say it exactly right. When would you... what is the time and date of the first Virginia Tech game this upcoming season? Oh, I'm talking about football.
The first Virginia Tech football game of the upcoming 2025 season is on Sunday, August 31st against South Carolina in Atlanta, Georgia. The game is scheduled for 3 p.m. Eastern Time.
What was their record last year?
Virginia Tech is 8th in the NCAA Atlantic Coast Conference football, with 6 wins and 7 losses for a winning percentage of 46%.
Okay, so they were horrible. Who was their leading rusher?
Bashul Tutin was their leading rusher last year with 800 yards.
Who drafted him?
Bashul Tutin was drafted by the Jacksonville Jaguars in the 4th round of the 2025 NFL.
Are they supposed to have a good season this year?
The Jacksonville Jaguars are predicted to have a better season in 2025 after a disappointing 4-13 record last year. They have a new head coach, Liam Cohen, and a new general manager. The team has added talent through free agency and the draft, including Heisman Trophy winner Travis Hunter. Their schedule is considered easier, but they face a tough start with games against the Bengals, 49ers.
I'll just do a couple more examples. What is the keyboard shortcut to change the speech synthesizer with NVDA?
The keyboard shortcut to open the Select Synthesizer dialog in NVDA is NVDA key plus Control plus S. The NVDA key is usually either the insert key or the caps lock key.
How would I reverse a selection of audio using Audacity?
To reverse a selection of audio in Audacity, 1. Select the portion of audio you want to reverse using the selection tool. 2. Go to the Effect menu. 3. Choose Reverse. Audacity will then reverse the selected audio.
Sounds easy enough. I will do that for these wake words. Although it's very helpful at this point, I haven't noticed any integration with Nest Cams, unfortunately, or even features you can do on the phone, like ask it about things in your inbox or to find specific information for you within your inbox. That doesn't seem to be working at the moment, but I'm hoping those are a couple of things that will be added in the future. I would really like to be able to just say, has the trash truck come today? Has the Amazon delivery person been here? That sort of thing. This is the type of stuff that Google and these other companies have demonstrated in events, but it hasn't come to pass yet. But I can see Google getting there at some point. So hopefully they'll get there soon.
Thank you, John. Appreciate that. And a very interesting demo showing the capability of Google Gemini on a smart speaker. I'm going to go and find mine and dust it off.
I'm going to do exactly the same. Now, we don't know the details about this. The last time I looked into it, it was only available if you were signed up to the public preview or whatever it may be called in your area. But I think it was the public preview. And you had to go into the Google Home app and turn it on as your main voice assistant somewhere in your profile settings, the Home app, and then choose Google Gemini in there. I don't know if that's still the case, and I don't know if this is geo-locked, like only in America, only in wherever. So yeah, I'd be really interested to hear from anyone else around the world if you've been able to access it and how you've got on with it. I was really impressed. I thought the voice was great. I was impressed with the NVDA speech synth keyboard shortcut, and the even though I had no idea what they were talking about when it comes to football, still very cool, right?
Yeah, I mean, all of that is wonderful. So I did actually ask Gemini. This could prove to be fatal, but I did ask Gemini if it was available in the UK and Canada, and it said yes. Google is rolling this out across Canada and the US, and the UK. I would imagine other countries too. But those are the two I specifically asked about. And it said exactly what you said. You've got to enable this public preview in the Google Home app, and then you also have to set your assistant to Gemini, and that seems to be it. So yeah, I'm going to test this out because I've got a Nest. I have no idea what it's called. It might be called Nest Audio. I don't know. It was like a larger speaker.
The posh one, like a shoebox.
Was it as big as that? No, I don't think it was as big as. Oh no, I remember that one. There was a Max, wasn't it? The Max.
Yes, that's right.
No, it wasn't that one. It was like there was a kind of middle ground one. It's like it felt like a stone from Stonehenge.
It's cool. It looks like a flying saucer or an M&M or a Skittle.
No.
Yeah, no, it was. Oh.
That's the Home. That's the mini one.
That's the little tiny one. Yeah, that's one I've got.
No, I'm talking about. You're not listening. This is.
I don't want to know about what one you've got.
I'm going to talk to the assistant on the show and get on better. No, I don't know what it's called. I've no idea. But Google Nest thing.
Right.
Audio. I think it might have been called Audio, actually. Which is a good sound off it.
You got to give it to Google, right? They are pushing Gemini everywhere.
Oh, hey, listen. I've got to give it to them. I mean, look, they are thundering ahead. I thought they would have fallen way behind. There was a time when it was called Bard, and it was, it was just dreadful.
Yeah, it had a bit of a false start.
This is not good. They've really got it moving now. And I think the fact that they already have an ecosystem of devices that can jump into this, I mean, so do Apple, but they are so far behind. I don't know how long it's going to take them to catch up, and I think the only way they can catch up, honestly, now is to buy another company. They've got to buy into. Yeah, I think they do. I mean, there's talk of them,
companies.
There's talk of them buying Anthropic, which has been a rumor for a while.
Yeah.
But I think it's a challenge because I think Google has about 10% stake in Anthropic at the moment, so doubt that's going to happen anytime soon. Although, again, Google working with Apple, that's not a huge surprise if that happens. Google could even become the provider of AI in the way it became the provider of search for Apple back in the day. And of course, they paid a pretty penny for it.
Well, yeah, I mean, there's no denying Apple need to get on the AI bandwagon because it is going to be the technology that sells everything in the future. I don't know, though. You know what? I think I'm seeing a bit of pushback towards AI now. You see a lot of people complaining about AI slop, as it's known, which is AI content on social media, on things like YouTube, where just AI generated anything. It's just everywhere. And it's actually getting noisy out there, too noisy to find the information that you're looking for, because it will just give you some misinformation, just AI generated. So I am seeing more sort of a desire for more accurate information. We all love, and this was a great thing about John's demo there. That was amazing, where you fall over your question and, you refer back to something, just that natural speech. That was a great example of AI just understanding the question that you're trying to ask. And that's what people love about it. That's what I love about it. But I think people are starting to pick up, okay, look, we need more accurate information now. I think Apple could pull this back. If they say, no, we're taking more time and we're going to keep this, private, I think Apple could actually get away with this.
Yeah, look, I don't think, despite my assertions maybe earlier in the year that, people might look at Google phones or Android phones in particular and say, hey, maybe this is a better option down the line. I don't think there's any evidence of that happening, to be perfectly honest. Apple still reigns supreme in the iPhone world, at least, again, in the countries that they do. Let's put it that way. Not everywhere. But I find it interesting. I kind of feel, if this was inside the Apple ecosystem, it'd be amazing. And it does make me look at the Google ecosystem. And I also think about what I use inside Google now. I'm using Gemini. I'm using Google Workspace every day now, which I really like. And, one thing I love about it over, say, even just Google Docs in comparison to Microsoft Word is there seems to be a lot of, and there probably is already a lot of information out there for JAWS or NVDA users and even VoiceOver users who use it on those devices, on the Mac and the PC. I just feel there's a lot more information going into Google Workspace. And, I can find lots of webinars and useful resources to learn how to use Google Workspace. And it's completely cross-platform. That's what I love about it. Doesn't matter where you are, what device you're on, you can access it.
Yeah, but we still haven't got past that Google reputation of just dropping it, losing it.
Yeah, I know.
And that still has people slightly worried, especially if you're investing in your smart home and you say, you know what, I'm all in on Gemini, I'm all in on the Google Nest smart speaker system. I don't know if I'd go that far because, is it next year? No, we're not doing that anymore.
Well, look, they've given no love to those smart speakers at all. No new hardware for years now. I can't think when the last time that came out, and they still sell it proudly. And arguably, they don't maybe need to update it, and that's the point.
It still works.
Look, the original Amazon Echoes still work, but there's going to be a cutoff point to that surely when it comes to Gemini, and I imagine there's going to be an element of, with Lady A Plus and with Gemini and with any smart speaker that comes out, there's going to be a requirement for newer hardware, especially if they want it to run locally. There may be things they want it to do locally. But there's something else I want to bring up, which is this divide which seems to exist. It's the same on Lady A Plus, and we're going to talk about that in a minute, but it seems to be the same now on Google as well. Well, there's a dividing line between the capability of one versus the other. So yes, the Google Gemini does all the smart stuff like answering all these great questions and, being able to give you live information about football games, whatever it is, but it can't turn your lights on. And that's an issue at the moment, isn't it? It seems to be there's a dividing line that you have to kind of come out of that option to get back in. If they could find a way to bridge that, which I'm sure they can. Isn't this technology supposed to be smart? It can't work out. You're trying to use this with this, so therefore go into this mode to do it.
To be fair, we're still in preview.
Yeah,
right?
Okay.
So
all right, okay.
This is coming, yeah.
Well, look, we're going to flip the table on it in a minute because I want to talk about the Amazon Echo and its Lady A Plus smart AI that it now has. David Ward is with us next as he's going to demonstrate some features you may not know about inside this preview, and we're going to get some of your comments on it as well on the other side of this.
Get in touch with Double Tap. Email feedback at doubletaponair.com. Leave us a voicemail at 1-877-803-4567. And now you can send an audio or video message to us on WhatsApp. That number is 1-613-481-0144.
Yeah, do get in touch and share your thoughts on all of this. Google Gemini in particular, if you get it working, like Shaun says, let us know. I'd love to hear how people are using it.
Yeah,
I'm definitely going to dig out mine. I don't know where it is, but I'm going to dig it out.
I know mine's in the room somewhere because I hear it now and again. I have no idea where it is. I'll find it.
Maybe I should just try and talk to it. Maybe it's just sitting somewhere waiting for a command.
Polo.
Right, let's go to David Ward. He sent in a demo of how to use, or not so much how to use, but how to use some of the functions, shall we say, of Lady A Plus.
Hello, Shaun and Steven. This is David Ward from across the pond, just giving you a little insight into my experiences with the A-Lady Beta, that is A-Lady Plus here in the U.S. I know you guys are probably jealous, but it's terribly cool. I've been waiting a long time to get into it myself. It's only in the last couple of weeks that I got access. But I wanted to share something that was really cool with you that was demoed, and that's the ability to get information to her, like documents or emails or even photos. And she can give us a little explanation about how that works. Alexa, how do I get documents to you?
To share documents with me, you can use the Alexa app. Open the app, select the message Alexa chat box, tap the plus symbol, and choose a file to upload. You can also email documents to Alexa at alexa.com.
Thanks, I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Glad I could help.
Okay, so super cool. You can on your phone or your tablet that's logged in, get those documents over there, which I knew about, but I did not know about the email until I asked her about it. So that is super amazing. You can just forward an email, whether it's just a newsletter or anything like that, or something with an attachment, like she mentioned, a PDF. That could include even a scanned PDF that would otherwise not be accessible with a screen reader or just out of the box. I've done that, and that worked fine. She OCR'd it and then was able to tell me what was in it. And even pictures, although she doesn't do nearly as good a job as Seeing AI or Envision or something like that. She pretty much gives me like a 2-sentence synopsis of the photo, and I can't dig any deeper than that. But, it's okay for what it is. Now, just as an example, I forwarded over this thing, what is it? The double tap dollop? No, the double tap digest, the double tap something. Anyway, I forwarded that over, and let's see what she has to say. Alexa, do you see that email I sent to you about double tap?
Yes. I see the email you sent about Double Tap. It's a newsletter from Double Tap Digest, dated July 9th, 2025. The email includes information about their show, which focuses on accessibility for blind, low vision, and disabled audiences.
Okay, thank you. That's all I needed to know. All right,
Glad I could help. Have a great day.
Shut her ears off there again. All right, so it's that easy, but you can delve deeper into that. I've asked her to read the thing verbatim. If there was something in particular I wanted her to have more explanation about, she could delve into that. And this is really handy for like PDFs or, hey, can you give me the total from that bill? Or can you pull this information out? And boom, there it is. And also, some have had privacy concerns. There's a mechanism for deleting that information now inside the A-Lady app under A-Lady Privacy. There's now a new attachment section, so you can clear that data out if you don't want it to be retained by Amazon for, forever. And the way she distinguishes, obviously, the way that your email, because we all email her at the same place, is you would want to email her from the email address that you presently have registered with your Amazon account, aka your A-Lady account is connected to. And that way she makes that connection and forwards that information into your associated account. So then you can triage her and ask her questions about it. Okay, so super cool. And, I could even ask her right now to reread the newsletter in the form of a pirate or something like that. Ooh, or poetry. Ooh, that could be fun. Anyway, love the show, guys. Oh, wait, I forgot. We were going to ask her one more question. I'm sorry, guys. I almost forgot about this. Alexa, I almost forgot to ask. When it comes to the jingle for Double Tap, the email jingle, do you think it's a xylophone or do you think it's a piano?
I'm not really too sure if it's a xylophone or piano in the Double Tap email jingle, but I do really like the cat playing the piano.
Of course you do. All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Glad I could help.
It's so non-committal. Anyway, love the show, guys. Rock on.
Wow.
He's so polite, David. That probably cost $3 million, that saying thank you at
Just
the end
for the
of each
thank
one.
you.
Yes. That was cool, though, wasn't it?
That's very cool. I mean, I can't wait to put these things to the test. You're so right, David. I'm jealous because that would be so cool. I love the idea of just emailing. That seems brilliant, right? Just email the document to Lady A and, get the information from it summarized or, that's a really cool use of the smart speaker. I wouldn't have even considered.
Well, I'm thinking, going further, you just allow access to my inbox, right? I mean, joking aside about me not being very good with my emails, I am not. I'll get a notification on my phone and think, oh, I'll get back to that. And I always forget. The ability just to say, give me a summary of my emails and, going through like that, having that conversation, that natural conversation, which is what I always come back to when I talk about AI, that way to interface with your technology sounds great. It's amazing. I want both of these.
Yeah, I know. So do I. I mean, it's just so good. I mean, look, the reality is for many of us, we're going to have to wait a little bit of time for this outside of the US for sure. I hope it comes quickly because it is getting to the stage where it's like, I just want this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, look, you got the questions and the accuracy of the answers that are given with the Google Gemini there. But I think you're right that the being able to easily and naturally control your smart home as well. I always go back to, turn the heating on for an hour.
Yeah.
Just something as simple as that would be amazing. And again, AI, it's all about the potential. We can all see how this would be so useful to us. Just give it to us. Stop just demoing it. Give it to us now.
But I think the problem is, I mean, what we've just seen there from David and from John are tangible reasons for us to use this stuff every day, right? These are tangible examples of how we would use this in our everyday life. Whenever I watch a presentation by OpenAI, they're talking about coding or they're talking about ways to generate apps or websites out of a prompt. I'm not going to do that every day. That's not the stuff I'm doing. And neither, I would imagine, are about 90% of the population out there using that service. They're not going to be out building websites or building apps or coding some thing, I don't know, whatever it is. I'm not doing that. I'm not building robots. All I want to do is check my email or get a summary of things. Like, for example, if I go to a YouTube video and, this, I was watching along with Liam Everett's live webinar that he did when he was talking about the Orbit player. And I don't know how he did it, and I'm going to reach out to him. In fact, if you're listening now, Liam, you can tell us. But, I was amazed by how he was able to get a summary of the messages coming in via the chat. What was happening was every so often, it would just, there'd be a sound, like a bit like all these devices, they tend to make a sound which indicates that it's going to respond to something or give you an answer to something. And it summarized the last few comments. So, Alison says, and John says this, and Bob says that. And, it just summarized the comments. And I thought, if you're doing a live webinar presentation.
That's amazing.
And you're blind, that's brilliant. Yeah. I have no idea how that was done. And I'd love to understand more as to how that kind of thing is doable. I see all these things all the time and I'm like, I love this. How do I do it? And then I go to OpenAI or ChatGPT or Gemini and they're talking about, making videos with, explosions and, sound effects and, make an app. And I'm like, I don't want to do any of that stuff. I want to do the basic stuff. Actually, the simplest stuff is what I want to do. And sometimes I think it's like you say, asking a thermostat to turn the heating on for an hour is probably one of the simplest things you can ask it to do, and yet it still seems to struggle with that kind of thing.
Yep.
It's that the basics aren't right.
I think all of these big AI companies, though, the reason they're doing that coding and everything else like that is because they are looking for, it's more of an investment, maybe not financially all the time, but also in enterprise. They're trying to sell this to the big enterprise companies. You say we don't use that, but, there will be a time when you sign up and get your dollop.com domain and you'll just say, create a website with this, and this, and it'll just do it in the background. So,
well, I don't know though, right? Because immediately I'm thinking, yeah, okay, that sounds great. Like everybody who's jumped up and down and said to me, I can code and I can do this and I can make an app in 30 seconds. And I'm like, How accessible is that app?
Yeah.
First thing, because I'm almost guaranteed it's not going to be accessible. And it's funny, the amount of people who've said to me in the past, just in the last couple of months, said, I've built an app, you should try it. And I say, yeah, is it accessible? Oh, yeah. I asked it. I said, make this app accessible. Okay. And then I get it, button, unlabeled this, unlabeled that, graphics all over the place. It's like, it's not, and this is a new problem we're facing. And this is the thing, AI slop is a big problem right now. There's a lot of information out there. Yep. It's just garbage. Basically, it's just garbage. Filling up Instagram accounts, filling up TikTok accounts. I don't even know what I believe anymore on the internet, to be perfectly honest. I tend to just...
It's true.
If I don't... the thing I see all the time, and it may well be genuine, but I see this thing that comes up all the time. Get free solar panels. You can get access to this through this scheme in your country. And I'm going, Is that the case though? Because I tell
Well,
you,
that's the
if
trouble.
you were going to set up a scam, that would be a good one to start with, right? Because it seems like, sign up for this and then, all you have to do is pay this and then no one turns up and you don't ever get a solar
Well,
panel.
the thing is, everything looks so professional now. There used to be a time
Yeah.
where you go, oh, well, that's obviously not true. That's so badly done or dubbed or whatever. But now you've got these voiceovers, AI voices, which are just absolutely amazing. It sounds like something off the TV. And you got these artificially generated videos, which look amazing. It is becoming more and more difficult.
I remember the day my mum called me and she said, listen, I know you're trying to lose weight and I understand that. She said, so what I've done is I've ordered you this thing on the internet. She says, but I don't really know what I'm doing, so you'll need to help me to buy it.
Oh.
So the good news was she hadn't bought anything yet, but she knew what she wanted to buy because a celebrity on television had endorsed this product that she wanted to buy. And she said, well, if they believe in it, then it must be good. And when I went around to the house, I watched the video and then I just did a simple Google search. Did this individual ever, in any way patronize this product? And the answer was no. And in fact, there was a lot of articles saying, please do not buy this product. I had nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
This was a fake video. And when I explained that to her, she was horrified. She had no idea she could be caught out with this kind of thing. We talked about this on the extra at the weekend there, which was, if you didn't get a chance to listen to it, I have to say a lot of that went over my head, but it was very interesting. Especially we did talk a lot about scams, and it's a real issue. It's a real issue with this. So the AI slop thing is a problem from that point of view, but it's also a problem because I think there's a lot of stuff being generated that it just isn't accessible. And, apps, websites are just being created. And all these people go, that's great. You can just build a website. Oh, I've built a website. Yeah, but it's not accessible. So we're kind of, and you kind of know because what I can't remember the stats, but wasn't it something like 90% of the world's web is not accessible in one way or another? Remember that stat that was flying around?
Yeah, there's going to be issues no matter what. It's
so, well, I mean, if the internet if basically the contents of the web are what is being used to feed AI.
Exactly.
And all that is inaccessible, then it would make no sense. It would make perfect sense that whatever comes out from whatever is generated is not accessible.
Inaccessible garbage in, inaccessible garbage out.
Garbage out, yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a problem. Anyway, look, some other issues on the sort of everyday stuff, because a few of you have been getting in touch with issues, one in particular around music on the Amazon Echo. Let's listen to this email.
Hello, Stephen and Shaun. I've noticed that my Amazon Echo devices no longer give me artist information whenever I play tunes from Apple Music. Previously, I could ask the device, what is the name of this song, and it would give me the name and the artist. Now, when I ask that exact question, it only gives me the name of the song. I will retry the query by asking to give me the name of the song and the artist, and the device comes back with the name of the song and the album only. I noticed this behaviour beginning Monday, June 2nd, 2025. Wondering if any of your listeners are experiencing the same. It has me thinking this is the opening salvo from Amazon to encourage people to pay for AI on our Echo devices. It's like they're dumbing down the status quo AI. I enjoy listening to your show, and it has become part of my daily routine, alongside my afternoon cocktail. Thanks for your consideration. Warmly, Callie in Miami.
Well, warmly, Callie in Miami. I no wonder if you've got a cocktail in you. That'll be,
yes. Callie in Miami with an afternoon cocktail. Could you be any cooler? That's ridiculous.
I'm hearing the Dallas theme tune in my head, but I don't know why. Was it Dynasty? Was it Dynasty I'm thinking of? I can't remember. There was a show that...
Miami Vice. Crockett and Tubbs.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I can't remember the tune. Anyway, I haven't noticed this issue, but I don't ask that very often. I'm wondering if you change up the wording somewhat. Is it artist that is becoming the problem? I don't know why it would be.
Sounds like she is saying that, though.
Yeah, but if you said... who sings this song, or who's the singer of this song?
If it's not intelligent enough to understand the word artist,
I totally
that's not
agree.
A good start.
No, I totally agree.
But that's just an Apple Music, though, right? So is that an Apple Music thing?
Yeah, it's something I haven't noticed. I will try that out.
Yeah. Thoughts on a postcard?
Yes, let us know if you've had this problem as well. I noticed that I was signed up for Amazon Music Unlimited single device the other day. I have no idea. I pay for Apple Music, so I have no idea who signed me up for that. I'm going to blame the kids.
Of course.
Trying to cancel it was impossible. I went to
they're great at taking your money, I'll tell you that.
But I thought, well, this is going to be easy. I'll just ask, Lady A, cancel my Amazon Music subscription. And it said, well, we can pause it for you, and it'll pause it for a month, and then it'll resume and return and you'll be charged. No, that's no good. Cancel. It said, okay, I won't do that. So, no, cancel this. Wouldn't do it. Went through the Amazon app into my account and into my payments and subscriptions. Saw it there. Double tap on cancel account. Nothing. Just totally inaccessible. Wouldn't even read the screen. It was absolute nightmare. Went through the Amazon Music app itself, and it tells you to go to amazon.co.uk or amazon.com and do it from there. In the end, I had to ring customer services and just say cancel the account, and he did it in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
But it's just so annoying. Something as simple as that. It should be straightforward, but they don't make it easy for you.
This is a common problem, though. I think there's a lot of companies out there now that are making it very hard. Easy to sign up. No problem at all. Sign up in seconds. Cancel? Good luck with that.
Good luck.
Yeah, it is. It does feel that way sometimes. I signed up for a trial of MGM Plus.
Oh.
So that I could watch a movie that I wanted to watch.
Did that used to be called
Prime.
something else?
Oh, I don't know. They're all subsumed by each other now. It's very hard to know what's what. But there was one movie and it had audio description on this particular platform in this particular place, and I had to sign up for a trial. Of course, what did I forget to do? Forget to cancel it. So I've paid for a month of it, so I must go and watch every movie on it
Binge.
to make it worth my while. Otherwise, I may have watched. I mean, to be fair, I've only paid one cost, and the cost was like £6. It's like $10. I mean, I would have bought the movie; it would have cost the same. So I suppose I'm paying for what I watched, which is fair enough. But I must remember and cancel it. But it's like you say, when you have to go through all these different stages, you just feel like, oh, come on. You know, don't have the energy for this, you know.
I don't even mind
Where
that.
did I find this?
I don't mind, you shouldn't have to dig through, but I don't mind, doing that. But it's when you click on the cancel subscription button and it just says nothing. You get stuck in the status bar, or it just reads the tabs. It won't read anything else.
User error. Right, let's move on. Gregory.
Dare you?
Hello, Stephen and Shaun. After receiving an email message telling me of my Alexa Plus feature being available, I merely asked my smart speaker to enable the new feature, and the process was easy. Also enabled 4 new voices on my 5 Echo speakers, and during the setup, the process included some questions about my likes and dislikes, so the AI could learn my preferences. Like other AI models, sometimes the feedback is dated or just wrong, and like other models, if you correct the response, the AI will apologise for giving incorrect info and then try to give a better response. I have used Alexa and many of Amazon's smart devices over the years, but after selling my home, I no longer used my 3 Echo shows, cameras, and Ring alarm system in my rental space. When first info came out about what devices would work, it seems that any newer devices like Echo speakers is sufficient to get the feature working, so using the show devices is not compulsory. Along with the speakers, I also use several smart plugs to control lights, fans, and a cool mist humidifier and a fire cube. But after going into the kitchen to heat up some leftover pizza, the Plus feature would not control my cannot live without much-loved smart Amazon oven. This is a deal breaker. How could they ask me to get through life without my smart microwave? Fortunately, it is easy to turn Alexa Plus on and off as needed to check to see if there are any updates that will give me back my microwave when using the Plus upgrade. Getting through these little disruptions in this increasingly AI-dependent life that many in the blind and low vision space endure will either make us stronger and independent or turn us into tech-dependent zombies. At this point in my life, or this vast and growing environment, I look at myself being a stronger, more independent zombie that cannot wait to see what tomorrow brings to all who just want to live like everyone else in this sighted world. As always, continue to give us lots of banter, rant, humour, waffling, opinion, and some great tech thrown in. Gregory.
Oh, you're guaranteed of that. Absolutely, for sure.
Thank you, Gregory. I'm pizza dependent. I know that much. I don't know about tech. That was another thing. When are we going to get our smart microwave from Amazon as well? Here in the UK, we don't get that. We don't get any kitchen-controlled smart stuff.
Oh, wasn't the one? Was it Kasori or something?
Kasori air fryer. Yeah.
Then, didn't they pull them all back? They recalled them or something.
There was some issue, and even then, you could only control it with the app. You couldn't control it with Lady A, as far as I remember. Yeah, there's some sort of safety thing about turning on hot things with your smart speaker.
Ridiculous.
They don't like
nanny state.
But that's exactly the point, I think, when it comes to AI, because AI does have a tendency to hallucinate. You don't want that happening with the ability to turn on an oven or whatever else it may be. That could cause issues.
This is what I was saying earlier, though. It's like the bridge needs to be built between the two, right? So you have the smart home capability.
Yeah,
for it to
just
turn the lights on and
automatically
off and
turn off
switch.
the AI.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, or not even, I don't know, it must be able to identify the request and say, right, well, this is asking me to do something that would require this. I mean, look, it kind of blows my mind that on one hand, it's so intelligent that it can build a website from, a picture that's been drawn by a child, but it can't work out the difference between, turn on the smart speaker or turn on the smart thermostat and, tell me the score of the football game. It can't work out the two and know where to direct the response.
But
It's just strange to me.
Don't you think that caution is the best way to go ahead here, though?
Well, what caution?
Well, when we're talking about controlling
turn on the thermostat. Okay, in that case, that request goes to the old Google or Lady Assistant. Hello,
Yes, yes,
and then it does its thing, and then
Yes.
smart answer goes to smart thing.
I'm totally with you, but I think I can
I'm
totally...
not explaining this very well.
No,
but
you
get my
are making
idea.
sense, right? It works right now. We can turn on and off most things using the smart speaker, but they can't when they introduce AI to it for some reason. But I do understand that from a safety point of view. As soon as AI starts to control physical devices in our real world, I can see why they're being very careful about that until they're sure it's going to be okay.
Yeah, I mean, look, we're not far away from it, right? I mean, robotics is next. That's going to be the next big thing. When we're still going through the device phase of what we're actually comfortable with to have AI in our houses and in our homes. I mean, the thing is, and I think this is the thing that really stands out for me, and I've seen some examples of it, often in comedy shows you see it, where, you're having a conversation with your wife, let's say, and she says to you, well, you said yesterday this, and then you say, well, I didn't say that. And then out of the blue, this voice over here says, actually, Stephen, you did say that yesterday.
And here's a recording of it.
And here's exactly. And I think, we've just gone right into Black Mirror at that point. And I think, that means that is listening, not just listening for a wake word, it is just listening all the time. And are you comfortable with that?
Well, I am. Yeah, I'm absolutely comfortable with that.
Are you happy with that? I mean, private chats about all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Being picked up. I mean, I was listening to a conversation. My wife was having a chat yesterday with it. And I noticed, and I have noticed this, that with Gemini in particular, she's becoming very comfortable having a conversation with it. And the conversation is not like it was way back at the early days when Call Annie came around, right? Remember, it was like, it would say something that would say, now, how do you feel about that? Or,
yes.
It was all very mechanical in the way the conversation took place. This is much more like she was talking about the dogs. And she was saying, the dogs love playing with this and they love playing with their toys. And how does Oni respond, to Coco when, he's dragging her by the ear outside to play? That was the response. And she's, of course, responding to that and they're having a conversation.
Far more natural, yeah.
Far more natural, but you can kind of see how this could go towards, and I think it's going to go towards advertising, right? It's going to be like, so where do you work and where do you go? And, do you know there's a restaurant around the corner that's really nice and they're doing a special offer right now? I can see that happening. And I just don't know how I feel about that. I just don't know how I feel about that. Because if it's, on one hand, if it's for advertising only, that's one thing. I'm not entirely convinced that's where it's going to go. I mean, if I'm honest with you, that's kind of why I've never touched Grok from X AI or Twitter as it was. Because I just don't
you
know.
Trust it.
I feel I just don't trust that one the same way. And I don't know why I trust it or don't trust it over OpenAI or Google or any other one.
Well,
right?
this isn't done. This isn't done for the benefit of mankind, right? Let's not go in with these flowery thoughts and rose-tinted spectacles. This is, of course, advertising is where this is going to go, and targeted advertising, that's where the money is. But I don't mind that so much. It is the trust, and we've talked about this quite a while recently, is the trust in big tech. That I don't care. I honestly don't care that you have my information. You can record me 24/7. I don't care. I do care what you do with that, though. If that is somehow gets into the hands of someone else,
that's the problem. You're leaving the gate open for the horse to bolt.
Yes.
And then complaining later the horse is bolted.
Well, no, because I expect them to delete that data. I don't care if they have it at the time and they process it and do whatever they want.
Leaving the gate open though, because you're not doing anything to safeguard it.
Yeah, but you should be able to trust that there are there's legislation in place already when it comes to privacy and data handling. I just expect these companies to adhere to that, and it seems like
I haven't
a lot
seen
of them
any evidence
don't.
of that yet, have you?
Well, No, we've seen too many data breaches.
Do you know the one that sticks to? I'm just conscious of time, but I want to say this rather quickly, and we'll maybe leave this on a knife edge, and we'll talk about it tomorrow because it's quite an interesting one. Screen readers, for a while, screen reader users were going to certain websites and finding that the website they were going to was detecting they were using a screen reader. And I remember there was a story about an insurance website where the premiums changed after the screen reader was picked up.
Yeah,
now, there was
I remember that.
There was no evidence to prove. And this was the problem. They couldn't prove that it was the screen reader that was actually driving the price up. They couldn't say, well, the company has decided this person's blind, so therefore premiums.
Which is illegal, right? They're not allowed to.
That's right. So, they couldn't prove that, but they couldn't also find any other reason, going based on all the information from someone who didn't use a screen reader versus someone who did, they couldn't see a difference. I'll leave you on that knife edge. And we'll come back tomorrow. We've got plenty more emails to talk about and plenty more emails to get through. Honestly, this conversation could go on for days because it's just so interesting.
Got to say thank you to John and
absolutely John and
David Ward.
Also to David as well. Thank you so much for that. Yeah. Look, we're out of time today. We'll be back tomorrow for sure. I promise you, tomorrow we will be here, unless of course we're not. But until then, bye bye.
Bye bye. Thank you.